Summer employment program taking place at the T.G. Glover Primary School on Wednesday. The initiative provides structured training environment to educate, motivate, and stimulate the country's youth for the job market. Education Minister the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd led the contingent of officials who urged the students to take their job seriously and challenged them to always do their best. A new slate of officers elected to the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind and Visually Impaired. President Roberta Johnson promises the new team will ensure blind or visually impaired people will have a voice in the country. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Alliance lost its office, and now there's a push to acquire a permanent home to continue its work. It has successfully trained numerous members to help them live normal lives by using a smartphone talkback app, computers with JAWS software, maneuver in their homes, learn how to prepare their own meals, and how to use the white cane independently to travel freely. The first annual Accessing Technology for the Blind and Visually Impaired forums to be held on Tuesday, July 27th via Zoom. KFC has added chicken souse to its local menu at its locations here in the capital and in Grand Bahama. And according to company executives, the beloved Bahamian dish is being tested this weekend, and if successful, can possibly undergo a more permanent placement on the menu. Our news team saw a slow response to the item at a few KFC locations today. However, the company remains hopeful that by Sunday, when the promotion concludes, larger numbers can be reported. Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit for a chance to win a brand new 2021 Toyota RAV4. Every spend gives you an instant entry to qualify. Shop online, at the gas station, or at any POS machine for your chance to win. Competition runs from now until August 31. Activate your power and win with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Approved under Section 61G of the Gaming Act 2014. Applicable to Bahamas only.
Bahamas Power and Light Company's post-hurricane efforts on the island of Abaco progressing well. BPL officials assessed its Wilson City plant operations as well as a number of infrastructural upgrades. Our Antoine Smith was in Abaco today for the tour.
A 48-megawatt plant at Wilson City, Abaco, nearly restored to its former glory, a mammoth task undertaken by Bahamas Power and Light as the company continues to repair infrastructure wiped out by Hurricane Dorian.
We really thought long and hard about how we bring this island back in a way that would be sustainable and build in a certain level of redundancy.
This time, officials keeping resiliency in mind, rebuilding the island's transmission systems to withstand weather events, and a key feature out of Wilson City, reinforced dual transmission lines, not to be outdone by the newest feature going north.
Going from Marsh Harbor all the way up to the north of the island, we are building a dual circuit line on steel poles, and that's aimed once again at resiliency and hardening of our networks. All of our transmission infrastructure is going in on what we call storm standard, which will certainly be much more resilient than what was here previously, which was more of a distribution standard, and that's really because of the vintage.
According to officials, with power restored, the island is now operating at 13.5 megawatts. That's 50% of its pre-Dorian peak capacity. As for why, well, it's really quite simple. Of its 9,000 Abaconian subscribers, only a little over 5,000 are on stream.
Power is available to anyone in Abaco who wants to get it. What the customers need to recognize is that you have to go through a process, and that process involves getting the appropriate permissions and occupancy certificate from the Ministry of Works, and I know they have persons here on the ground, and as soon as you have those occupancy certificates, we're committed to getting our customers reconnected into the grid as soon as we possibly can.
A reality mirrored as the company now finds itself connecting more than 200 customers per month. But those with power supply would tell you that it hasn't been all perfect, often ending up on the receiving end of power outages, which the company acknowledges is sometimes caused by power generation and a number of other issues.
Because we as an entity do not perform live line work or hotline work, as it is called in the industry, we have to actually de-energize sections of line in order to connect new areas and new people. So because that is always happening as people are coming in, if it's not just a regular service connect, which we actually are able to perform at the local level, and we do have to tie in a corner, let's say, or a major business that requires a transformer connected directly to the high voltage.
And in the near future, Abaco residents can expect the installation of substations. In the distant future, maybe micro solar grids. But for now, reporting from Wilson City, I'm Antoine Smith for ZNS Network News.
Executive Director of the Bahamas South Islands Promotion Board, Kerry Fountain, says the organization is well on the way to meeting its goal of reaching 65% of its performance in 2019. He says in April, room nights sold were 65% of that year's numbers, while the goal was to achieve 62% of 2019 levels.
I'm happy to report in terms of room nights sold, hotels with 51 rooms or more achieved 50% of what they did in 2019. We would have blown that number out of the water, but as you may recall, Sandals Emerald Bay did not open until the end of February. So we're starting to see a definite uptick there. Hotels in the northern Bahamas, in terms of room nights sold, achieved 57% of what we did in 2019. In the central Bahamas, 66% of what we did in 2019. And in the southern Bahamas, 74%.
The Carnival Horizon called on the island of Bimini for the first time in Carnival Cruise Line's history. The vessel, one of Carnival's first 3 ships to depart the United States since resuming service July 3rd. Bimini is among the featured ports on the ship's 6-day Caribbean cruise that leaves Miami July 18th. Carnival's president, Christine Duffy, says the company is honored to now call at the Resorts World Bimini Cruise Port, and they look forward to offering Bimini the benefits and fun of cruising while remaining committed to its top priorities of the health, safety, and well-being of guests, crew, and the many communities they serve. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Kishler. Another hot day around the island today, and outside of our studios just now, we are under partly sunny skies. Temperature currently at 88 degrees. Relative humidity 62%. We have southerly winds at 8 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars. That's 30.06 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Turkey, Marsh, Abaco, 84. Also the Berry Islands, 84 degrees. Alistown, Bimini, 85, 84 in Harbor Island and Roxanne, Eleuthera. Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Bay, St. Andros, and Freshwick in Central Andros, all at 85 degrees. In Otterstown, Cat Island, 84, San Salvador, 84 as well. Those 84s extend into Rum Key and Georgetown, Exuma. 84s again in Rygat Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Ackless. The warm spot tonight is Matthew-Town, Inagua at 87 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands, you can anticipate light and variable winds with flat seas, 1 to 3 feet. High tide will take place at 8:15 this evening. In the central Bahamas, the winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. In the southeast Bahamas, we have a caution flags up. Reason being, east to southeast wind speeds at 12 to 18 knots, and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, the winds become southerly and picking up slightly in the northwest Bahamas at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights building 2 to 4 feet. High tide 8:35 in the morning. Low tide will take place at 2:41 in the afternoon. In the central islands, no change there. Southeasterly flow at 10 to 15, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet for the southeast Bahamas. Caution flags will be dropped as those winds will fall off just slightly to about 15 knots. Also out of the southeast, and the wave heights down 3 to 5 feet. But as we take you into Sunday, for all areas of the Bahamas, southeast winds at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. No caution flags in place on Sunday. High tide at 9:27 in the morning. Low tide 3:33 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
I'm tired of going round and
it's Shay here, and welcome to our first installment of Alive's Community Corner. Not only is Alive a digital service provider, and beyond those great deals and services that we provide you, Alive is committed to the community. So here's a look at what we did for Mother's and Father's Day. This episode, and we look forward to sharing with you so many more of our community moments. So why Alive? Because you deserve it.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janays.com.
Recently, we've all been through some tough times. At Bank of the Bahamas, we understand this, and that's why we're here to bring relief. This summer, take advantage of our low-rate debt consolidation and consumer loans to help you pay school fees and complete your home and hurricane repairs. Or save big by switching to a BOB mortgage. To apply, simply email us at loans@bankbahamas.com. Bringing you sweet relief. BOB, your bank of solutions.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The 2020 Olympic Games opening ceremony completed. It's time now for Team Bahamas to compete. Off the blocks first are swimmers Joanna Evans and Isaac Bastian, who begin competition on Saturday. In her second appearance at the Games, Evans will open up in her signature event, the women's 400-meter freestyle. In his debut, Bastian will compete in his specialty, the men's 100-meter breaststroke. Both are adjusting to the bubble situation in Tokyo, as they say it's better to be safe than sorry, and are ready to compete. And while he's not a former Olympian, he is a former athlete and a sports journalist who is honored to have been able to do both as a Grand Bahamian. Here's Jay Philippe with that story.
Ricardo, a well-known and respected name, not just in the Bahamas, but throughout the entire Caribbean region as a sports broadcaster and former junior national athlete. Nowadays, you can find him on the golf course from time to time, but Ricardo has been the voice of sports for 30 years, covering every sporting discipline there is. For the sports legend, it all started with playing Little League Baseball at the YMCA as a teenager, then leaving for high school abroad. As a high schooler, he made the Carifta team in 1976, and he says, in his opinion, that was the best Carifta team to ever represent the Bahamas.
Everybody who was on that 76 team came back to the Bahamas in some way or manner and has made a difference in terms of our development and giving back to young people.
From an athlete, he then transitioned to the media.
Using the advent of an athlete to portray that and relate that to the viewing and listening audience has been something that I've enjoyed over the many years of working in the Broadcasting Corporation and even still today in the business.
Traveling the world, gaining a wealth of experience, Ricardo recalls perhaps his most memorable time as a sportscaster.
Now with the World Relays that we've had and having to work with a number of international individuals who've come in here that we know from just watching the various sports links throughout the Caribbean, work with them, and even those in the United States was a blessing. I think that's been my highlight in terms of what I've been able to achieve at this juncture.
However, he believes that there is a lot more work to be done with sports in the country.
Sports needs a heck of a shot in the arm financially, and I say that because we spend a lot of money on the rehabilitation of children, but we don't spend the money on the development of children to where they can in turn become better citizens and better athletes.
For Ricardo, who also goes by the name Ricky, being a sports figure is something that he says he will never take for granted.
My gateway to all of this was, one, coming into the Broadcasting Corporation, and secondly, getting opportunity to go to CNN and to work in their sports department as far as their professional program, and seeing how the world handles the dissemination of sports and seeing how significant sports is to the world itself. That in itself gave me that idea. And I came back home and it's like, I have to be as close as or better than what's coming out on the cable system. So what I give to the public, I need to give them the best that I possibly can. I've always believed that I work for the Bahamian people. and I worked for years to give them the best that I could possibly give them.
As we continue to celebrate 48 years of independence, we salute Ricardo Lightburn for the impact he has made in sports.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
Hurricane season is here, so now's the time to start checking off your list. Make note of what you have. Test your batteries, radio, flashlights, and the expiry date on your first aid kit. You may have to replace a few things. Then make sure you have at least 1 gallon of drinking water per day for each person, 2 weeks supply of non-perishable food, a cooler for ice, and if you have an infant, pack a bag of baby items. Keep spare toilet paper, paper towels, and sanitation wipes, along with cleanup supplies, trash bags, waterproof packaging for personal documents, and mosquito repellent. Have 2 extra face masks per person and enough hand sanitizer and life vests for everyone in the household. And have a plan. If shelter gets compromised, plan with household members beforehand how you will escape. That might mean having a knife, axe, crowbar, or other tool to pry open a door, window, or roofing in an emergency. For more information and a full hurricane prep checklist, visit ZNSBahamas.com.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this myself.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The Dixon Hill Lighthouse on San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down fake waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In our replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, most of the tropics very quiet this evening. We still have that Sahara dust that's keeping a lid on things, coupled with those strong upper-level winds. However, there is an area of low pressure just came off the Florida coast there. The Hurricane Center is giving this about a 30% chance of developing, but whether it develops or not, it will be a rain-producing system over the next couple of days, so we'll keep our eyes on it because it could trigger off a few showers over the extreme northwest Bahamas. Satellite pictures showing some troughing out of that system right across the northwest Bahamas, and that will be responsible for those occasional showers. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy with a passing shower or two. 79 degrees will be a low temperature tonight, and tomorrow, we're looking at intervals of clouds and sunshine with a couple of thunderstorms, but they will be in spots. That's meaning of an isolated nature. 89 degrees for the high temperature tomorrow, and the heat index should be in the low triple digits again tomorrow. 7-day forecast is shaping up like this. We're going to keep you near 90s, not as hot as it has been over the last several days, but nevertheless, these are summer temperatures and those nighttime temperatures in the upper 70s. More showers expected in the forecast on Sunday as a result of that system just to the north of us, but things will pan out quite nicely as we head into the early part of next week with lots of sunshine and there's 1 or 2 stray showers. Makisha.
Well, thanks, Basil. Before leaving, a small celebration taking place here at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas today as the employee for the second quarter was announced. This time, 2 employees got the award, news reporter Lloyd Allen and traffic manager Sharon Albury. They were chosen among several employees named Employee of the Week, and Lloyd and Sharon now get some great perks, including their own coveted parking spot and their pictures shown on the community TV page and website.
One of the things that I always try to tell people is that hard work is not something new, but it's something that should be consistent. And so for me, it's been something that I've consistently practiced throughout my career, and it's good to know that others have recognized that.
It's a privilege and it's a joy for me to receive this reward as I'm about to retire. So I really appreciate the Broadcasting Corporation for awarding me Employee of the Quarter.
Executive Chairman Frederick Gottlieb reiterated that all ZNS staff members are winners.
The corporation has survived very difficult times the last 12 months with the pandemic and so forth, but even so, we've managed to keep our employees together. We've managed to actually increase our revenue marginally, which, you know, compared to some of the other corporations, they haven't been able to do. We managed to contain our costs pretty well. We're striving to see what we can do to get the corporation to continue to move forward. We have to think outside the box, and we're doing that. But all of it can only work if we have everybody on board. And from what I've observed, as I've said so far, the employees have done an excellent job. I really, really want to thank you on behalf of the board.
And congratulations to both Lloyd and Sharon. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station. ZNS Network's presentation of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, proudly sponsored by BTC. Elevate your experience.
Welcome